Hi everyone, welcome to this class. My name is Yip. I will be guiding you through today's practice. It's a yin practice. We're gonna start with some breathing exercises. So find yourself into a comfortably seated position. This could be maybe with your legs easily crossed. Maybe you want to sit onto a brick or a pillow, whatever you have close by at home. Or maybe you want to sit in another position or even lay down if you can stay awake like that. I would probably suggest for this particular breathing exercise just to stay upright with the spine straight. So whenever you're ready, take a deep breath in and out. And maybe if it feels comfortable for you, closing the eyes. That's not comfortable for everyone, of course, so make sure that you don't feel anxious or a bit restless if you have the eyes closed. If that's the case, just have your gaze gently somewhere, on the floor. And we're gonna be starting. So closing the eyes and taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And another deep breath in and deep breath out. And do that for a few times, just checking in how the breath feels, how the body feels. How you feel. We're just checking in, so we're not necessarily judging it. So maybe you feel tense, maybe you feel relaxed, maybe you feel happy or stressed. And whatever it is that you feel, like I said, don't try to put a label on it like good or bad. It just is for now. So in a moment, we'll be counting our breath for a few minutes to ground us and be a bit more present in the now. And what I want you to focus on is really expanding through the lower belly and contracting the belly button towards the spine on your exhale. So expanding on the inhale and contracting on the exhale. We'll be counting 5 counts in and 5 counts out. If you want to extend that for any reason because it feels more comfortable, please feel free to do so, but make sure that you're not forcing anything. So 5 often is quite a nice number to do this breath exercise with. So we're going to be starting in a moment. So maybe you want to take a few more deep inhales and exhales. You can exhale through the mouth if that's something that feels comfortable right now. So inhale deeply and exhale. Inhale deeply and exhale. Final time before we start. And we begin. Inhaling, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhaling through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing deep into that lower belly, 3, 4, 5. Pushing all the air out, contracting, 3, 4, 5. Continue, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you get distracted by any thoughts or sounds in your surroundings, that's okay. Every time, just bring your awareness back to the breath. Keep going, inhaling for 5 and exhaling for 5. Counting the breath in and out. Contracting the belly button towards the spine. Really drawing in your breath fully into the body on your inhale. Calming down your nervous system. Stimulating the vagus nerve that runs alongside the front of the body. Telling your body and your mind you can go into rest and digest. That you're safe. Just a few more rounds, stay with it. If your mind has wandered, it's no issue, just bring it back. Let thoughts pass like clouds in the sky. Final few rounds. And then deep inhale. And then you can exhale through the mouth. Release it, let it go. Maybe start moving the shoulders a little bit, or roll your ear to your shoulder, your chin to your chest, and then your ear to your other shoulder. And make a few circles with the head, waking up your body. And then when you feel ready, you can gently start to open your eyes, remove any bricks if you were sitting on any of them. And then we're going to find our way into a Shavasana pose here for a moment. If you have any bricks or pillows close by, that is maybe useful for some postures, but you don't necessarily need them. So just see if you want to grab some props now before we get started. So just lay here for a moment, eyes are open, and we're going to inhale, hug the right knee towards the chest. And then we're going to give it a good squeeze. I'm going to maybe circle with the foot a little bit, point and flex the toes, just waking up that foot, that ankle, that leg, and give yourself a good hug, maybe moving the knee a little bit, and starting to wake up to the sensations that we feel inside of our body. And then we're going to move our nose towards our knee, so roll up there for a second. Breathing in, and then on our exhale, release it down. And we're going to fold over towards the left with the right knee. Now maybe you want to grab hold of that brick and place it below the knee when you go into that reclined twist. But maybe you just want to let your knee move towards the floor. See where your body is at today. You can take your right arm straight out from the shoulder, or you can bend it at the elbow, come into a sort of cactus arm, and see if that knee wants to hover in the air, or if you want to move it towards the floor, or bring the floor towards you and move that brick below the knee. See whatever feels comfortable for you right now. And then we're going to bring our attention and our focus back to the breath. So we're in a reclined twist towards the left. If your neck allows for it, you can look over towards the right. And we're going to focus on our breath. Breathing in and out. And I want you to take your attention to your body. So what parts of your body can you feel connecting to the mat right now? Your foot, your leg that is straight on the mat, opposing foot, maybe the knee touching the floor or the brick, your side body, your shoulders and your hands. And really feel into the sensations of your body connecting to the floor. Is your floor cold? How does your mat feel? And all these sensations, once we start paying attention to them, it can help us to be more present in the now. Because our minds wander to the past, the future, to things we have to do, making lists, reminiscing over things that have already happened perhaps. So one way of taking our attention and becoming more present is to focus on our sensations. So what am I feeling in this posture? A few more breaths here. So breath and sensations will help us being more present. Of course, this is a practice, so if it doesn't happen straight away, don't stress yourself out. It's something that we have to train ourselves to do. Becoming present is a practice. Deep inhale. And on your exhale, find your way to the center and then place your right foot on the mat and slide with your heel over your mat until you straighten your whole leg out. And then release it and feel the difference between your right and your left leg right now. Taking a moment here. Just feeling into the legs. Feel that right leg and feel that left leg. We're going to move into Reclined Butterfly. So the soles of the feet are touching and we're going to bend the knees. And then maybe again you want to use pillows or bricks supporting under your knees. But you can also choose to just let your knees float into the air and let gravity slowly open you up more. See what you want to do. Maybe a bit more restorative posture is to have the knees touching pillows or bricks. You can place your hands on your lower belly. So we're in Reclined Butterfly. And then we're going to focus on our breath here. So inhale deeply into the lower belly. Creating space in the body, carving out that space. And then exhale deeply, releasing any tension and really letting go. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And like I said before, and I've said in other classes, if your mind wanders, that's all part of the human experience. It would be an illusion to believe that you're going to be without thought. The mind is doing exactly what it's designed to do, creating those thoughts. However, we can practice becoming less attached to them and not getting pulled by them as if we are being pulled by a current or a strong wave. So using the breath, stay present. And again, you can be focusing on where you feel the connection on the mat. So your feet, back of the head. A few more breaths here. So on your inhale, really visualize as if you're creating space in your body. And then on your exhale, as if you're releasing any tension, anything you're holding on to that just isn't serving you anymore. So every exhale, you become a little bit more heavy. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. We're going to inhale and move our knees together, feet are on the mat, and then exhale, slide our heels over the mat, straightening out the legs. Maybe have your hands just alongside your body, and for a moment here, rest in Shavasana. We're not quite done yet, of course, but just taking that moment to rebound and relax. Perfect. And then we're going to inhale the left knee towards the chest and giving that a big hug too. Maybe pointing and flexing the foot a few times or circling around the ankle clockwise and anti-clockwise. Moving the knee a little bit into the hip socket and then moving your nose towards your knee for a big hug here. And then releasing yourself back down to the floor. Again, on this side, see if it feels any different. Maybe here you don't want to use that brick, or maybe you do. And then we're moving our left knee over towards the right-hand side. The right leg is straight. So that brick can be helping elevating the floor towards you, or maybe you don't need it on this side and you're just letting your knee be heavy, taking the left arm out straight or into a cactus position. And if you want to, looking over towards the left side, if your neck allows for that. So releasing the lower back with this twist. So maybe see if you can if you can direct your breath towards that lower back area. So breathing into that space, visualizing as if you're creating space on the inhale and releasing tension on the exhale, remember? So inhale deeply into the lower back. And then exhale, release the tension. Feel as if your hips may be releasing a little bit as well. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Letting your body be heavy. And see where you feel this in your body. Do you feel this in your hip, in your lower back? Maybe think back on how it felt on the other side and see if there's any differences. Of course, both sides of the body can be very different, more or less tight. The thing with yin yoga is that we want to find stillness in the posture. So see if you can find your edge, so your appropriate depth, but don't move in so far that you're continuously fidgeting, moving in and out of the posture. We want to find that stillness. I'll be looking after the time for you, of course. So all you have to do is really stay present in the posture. And this is exactly what can be very challenging, because contrasting, for instance, a vinyasa flow where you just move all the time and the mind is very occupied with that movement. Here you're in that stillness, so you really need to work with your breath and maybe tuning into those sensations to stay present and to not get distracted by the mind so much. And that's what we're trying to focus on today, of course. Beautiful. Just a few more breaths in this reclined twist. And then we're going to inhale and slowly unwind, moving back to the center, placing our left foot on the mat and sliding our heel over the mat, straightening out that leg, and then release it, and now feel the difference of the left side contrasting the right side of your body. Breathing in deeply, and on every exhale allow yourself just to be heavy. Give yourself permission to rest. We're going to bend the knees, take the feet up towards the sky and grab hold of the inside of our feet and come into a happy baby. See if you can move your lower back towards the floor. If it's all the way up here, see if you can start to move that lower back and your buttocks towards your mat. And then rolling around a little bit, massaging your lower back in a little happy baby moment. Maybe straighten out one leg, straighten out the other. Find some movement here and see what's comfortable for you. Making sure that that lower back is moving towards the mat to release it even more. And we're going to place our feet, we're going to hug in the knees, and we're going to be rolling up and down the spine, coming up maybe all the way, going back all the way, just giving yourself a little massage here onto your spine until we come all the way up to a seated position. Beautiful. We're going to come into caterpillar. So we're going to take our legs straight out in front of us, making sure that we move the flesh a little bit, and we're going to be rounding over. So rather than maybe a more yin practice where we really want to move in forward and deep, we're going to be rounding over today. So maybe you want to be grabbing hold of those bricks again so you can lean on them and really come into a comfortable caterpillar. Or maybe you want to again here let gravity do its thing and just round over like this. See whatever you need to set this up. We're going to inhale, open through the chest, the spine is straight. And then exhale, we're going to move our nose towards our knees and just see where we land naturally today. And we really want that roundness through the spine. So we open up through and in between the shoulder blades. So having any pillows or bricks close by so you can rest your forehead there. Maybe you want to have them in quite a high up position, so you can place one flat and one all the way up high, or maybe you place them a little bit less high like this. Or of course just resting in the air, sorry, for lack of a better word there, and just rounding through the spine. So you really want to be directing your breath to the space in between your shoulder blades, to the scapula, and really creating space there. There can be a lot of tension between the shoulder blades, especially if we experience a lot of stress and maybe a lot of anxiety or fear. If we spend a lot of time in fight or flight mode, this area can be very tense. So by focusing our breath there, we're going to try and create a little bit of space. If this is a lot on your hamstrings and it's taking away from the posture, you can place a blanket, pillows or bricks under your knees and rest in it like this. You don't have to have the legs straight, but see what works for you. If you're comfortable with the legs straight, then please stay there. But if you're noticing that it's a bit challenging, you can place something below the knees there right now. So we're using this forward fold to direct our energy inwards. Maybe you have your eyes closed. And if this is a lot, see if you can calm yourself down with the breath. So maybe this is very challenging for you at this moment. And rather than suppressing that feeling or trying to come in and out of the posture and saying, oh, I don't want to be here, this is too much, calm yourself down. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. You're safe in this position. You can deal with whatever is arising. You're equipped to deal with the challenges that come up for you. Really rooting down, feeling your connection to the mat. So if anything comes up, emotions, sensations, or thoughts, do not suppress it. Whatever we resist persists. So we're going to use our breath to stay calm, to stay present. Opening the back heart. And we're finding our edge. So it might be that your body is opening up a little bit now and that you want to be moving in a little bit deeper. Feel free to do so you can change the height of your brick. And just move in a little bit further. And if that brings up new sensations, tuning into the breath again. We are not running away from what we're feeling right now. We're welcoming it because we can deal with it. Staying super calm. Unclenching the jaw and making sure that the face and the whole body is relaxed. Relax your shoulders. Relax your face. Just directing the breath in between the shoulder blades. We're almost there. Few more breaths. Very, very gently start to roll up. Move the bricks out of the way. Place the hands behind you. Fingers are pointed to the fingers are pointed to the front of your mat. And just open through the chest. Look up if that is okay with the neck. Counterbalancing that forward fold here for a moment, shining out of the heart. Beautiful. We're going to come into shoelace now. So we're going to have our left leg straight out in front of us, and we're going to bend the right knee and hug it in towards the chest, making sure that the spine is straight and the chest is nice and open. And then we're going to step our right foot over that left, and we're going to bend the knee, so maybe the foot comes a little bit more in line with your left hip, and we're going to bend the knee, so placing it down wherever it goes. Maybe you want to place a pillow in between your left leg and your bent right leg. And again, we're going to be folding over here, so we're going to round through the spine. If you want to, there's a few options here. You can take either a brick and place it onto that right bent knee and rest here. Maybe that's a nice stretch for you. You can feel a lot. Of course, you can play with different heights here. Or again, maybe leave the brick out of the equation and just fold over and let gravity do its thing. Lastly, there's the option of also bending your left leg and moving that towards the right hip and then folding over like this. So see where you are today. Don't be bothered by where you were last week or maybe yesterday. Just see how your body feels. Find your edge and make sure that you can find stillness in this posture. So if you have to move in and out of the posture, you're probably in a little bit too deep. And then you just, for instance, straighten the leg and just find stillness here. So we're going to be breathing in, deep inhale, open through the chest. And then exhale, fold over. Really opening up the fascia and the deeper connective tissues in the hips. So remember, the appropriate depth of the posture might change as you are moving in deeper. So maybe for the first few rounds of breath, you're using a brick, and then you remove the brick and you just let yourself be pulled down by gravity. So again, a lot of fascia in the hips. So there can be a lot of sensations in postures where we target the hip area. So maybe your breathing just became a little bit more shallow, or you just tensed up a little bit because there's a lot of sensations happening right now in the body. And see if you can, on your exhale, relax the body, relax your mind. Let yourself be heavy. Taking your attention towards the lower back, the left lower back, the right hip, the back side of the left leg, if it's straight. And feel into the sensations again. We're aiming to stay super calm in postures that can bring up a lot of sensations. So it's not as if we're not trying to feel anything. Of course we are. We're not doing a restorative class. We are trying to stretch the body in yin, which means that, yes, you can actually feel a lot. And being super flexible is not necessarily a benefit, because actually when the body is a little bit more stiff or not fully opened up yet, we can get a lot more sensation. So that's why, for instance, doing yin yoga in the morning can actually be very nice, because the body isn't fully warmed up yet, and you get a lot of sensations in these types of postures. And that's really what we're after. We want to feel those feelings. They create a stronger mind-body connection. Just a few more breaths. We're almost there for this one. So again, see if you have to adjust your appropriate depth to really get everything out of the posture. So maybe you're moving in a little bit deeper now, adjusting the setting of your brick. Then when you're ready, gently walk yourself up. If your left knee is bent, straighten it. And then help your right knee, step it over the left. And then take both legs out, place your hands behind you. Fingers again are pointing to the front of your mat. And just give your legs a little shake, shake. Nice. And we'll be doing straddle in between before we move towards the other side. So we're gonna take our legs out wide. If for this one you wanna elevate your seat, sit on a brick, sit on a pillow, please feel free to do so. And then we're gonna take our legs out wide as they go. And then we're gonna point the toes up for this first moment and see if you can just let yourself move forward anywhere. So if you want to, again, can place those bricks and rest here on the bricks with your forehead, or maybe you're just gonna grab hold of the inside of your feet. That's also fine. The only thing that I'm gonna ask you not to do is pull yourself really hard into this position. So if you're holding on to the legs, your leggings, or onto your feet, that's fine. But see if you can still, calm. Sorry, I lost the word there. Don't pull yourself into moving further into the position. So I'd rather have you either just resting here on your forearms, or maybe just resting here in the air, or onto bricks if you have them close by. So straddle pose, opening up that body and the hips. And again, maybe focusing our attention on breathing in between the shoulder blades and really relaxing there. If you want to, there's one last thing that you can do if you find that you have a little trouble relaxing and rounding into this posture. You can take a brick and hold it out in front of you. So you walk the brick out further in front of you, and then you tilt it over as if the brick is pulling you into a forward folding position. Again, you can do this, but try not to make it too forceful. Try to relax into the pose rather than forcing yourself to deepen. So we're rounding the spine. And just breathing here. Taking our attention inwards once more. Deep inhale and deep exhale. So you see that in a lot of these postures, maybe the mind tells you that you can't do it, or that you feel uncomfortable, and that really you want to move out of the posture, and that's where the fidgeting often comes in. But by using our breath and taking our attentions into the sensations that we're feeling, rather than running away from it or suppressing it, we're welcoming it, so we're dealing with whatever arises. Beautiful. And again, see if the body is slowly opening up more. On every exhale, you can let yourself become a little bit more heavy, so you're moving in a little bit deeper. And if you're finding a new appropriate depth, move in and just let yourself relax further and further into the position. And if your mind has wandered now, see if you can feel into your left foot. Feel into the left foot, the sole of the foot, into your toes. Then take your attention into the left lower leg. And then the left upper leg. And take your attention to your right foot. Into the toes and the soles of the feet. Into the lower leg. And the upper leg. Then into the hips. Into your lower back. Breathing. So if the mind wanders, there's these little tricks, just bringing back the attention to the body. Gently start to walk yourself back up. Take the legs out straight in front of you, place the hands behind you, and give your legs a little shake. Maybe right now you want to bend the knees and take a few windshield wipers. Let your knees drop to the left, back to the center, and drop them to the right. Just windshield wiping away the tension in the body. Beautiful. And we're going to take our legs out straight again. And then we're going to bend the left knee, hug it in towards the chest, making sure that the spine is nice and straight. And then step it over that right leg, which is still straight. And then we're going to take the foot towards the hip line, bending that knee and letting it lower. If it's all the way up here, place something in between, maybe a blanket, maybe a pillow. Or if you want to, again, placing that brick on top of the knee. See if this side is maybe a little bit different. Maybe you want to start with bending the knee here straight away because you feel that the hips are more open for you on this side. And then we're going to be moving into shoelace again. So spine is nice and straight on the inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to be walking forward and down. So remember that you can have that right leg straight and you can just rest on a brick with the forehead. Really calming down. Continuously relaxing, so unclenching your jaw, unfrowning the forehead or the space between the eyebrows, relaxing your shoulders again, relaxing the hips, and becoming aware of the differences on this side of the body. Giving yourself permission to soften. The mind often has so much control over us. It runs the show continuously. And as much as the mind can be a very useful tool and helps us survive, it can also work against us if these thoughts or the hamster wheel thinking never stops.
So taking these breaks in your day, these moments of pause by focusing on your body or on your breath, can enable you to step out of that overthinking, over-analyzing hamster wheel that keeps spinning otherwise. Just a few more breaths here. Gently start to walk yourself back up. Take out the right leg straight if it was bent, and help your left leg step it over, straighten out, and just give your legs a little shake. We're going to move into child's pose, so coming first onto all fours, then have the big toes touch, the knees are wide, and move your buttocks back towards the heels. For this child's pose, we're going to be holding opposite elbows and resting our head onto the forearms. So making sure that you're holding onto opposite elbows and just resting here. Releasing the lower back and letting the body be heavy. Giving yourself permission again to rest. Releasing the effort. Making our way back onto all fours. We're gonna come into puppy pose or melting heart, which means that we're gonna walk our hands forwards and let our chest move towards the floor. Our hips and legs stay up high, and our chest is just melting towards the earth. If you want to, you can place a brick under your chest, so you bring the floor a little bit closer to you, or of course just moving towards the actual floor. Let your chest become heavier and heavier, and walking your hands forward until you can't go any further. Feeling that tension a little bit in between the shoulder blades. And breathing, of course, still, even if it's a little bit less easy. See if you can come to a place, maybe move in a little bit less deep again, so that the breathing isn't restricted. Sorry, I have to move my arm a little bit for the microphone. Melting the heart towards the earth, really surrendering in this posture.
And then gently start to slide out. Come onto your belly and place your hands below your head and just rest here. Let the earth hold you, and just relax. Again, giving yourself that permission. Resting in between postures. Giving your body a chance to rebound. There's so much happening, probably always, but especially recently for everyone. The last almost year has been quite intense, I think, for a lot of people. So giving ourselves permission, even if it's just for a couple of minutes to rest, can make a big difference. Really allowing yourself to rest. We're going to come into Sphinx pose. If you already feel a lot of compression in your lower back, or you're just simply enjoying this rest, then please stay here and, as I said, give yourself permission to rest. So you can stay here, or if you feel already a lot in your lower back, stay here. Alternatively, the elbows move below the shoulders. The arms are parallel toward alongside each other, and the fingers are pointing towards the top of the mat. You can feel a slight compression in the lower back because you're pushing into the elbows and simultaneously gently pulling yourself forwards. So you can feel a real opening towards the chest. You're looking down just slightly in front of you, so you're not looking up and compressing the neck. So just look down a little bit in front of your mat and feel that compression in the lower back. Your lower body is nice and relaxed. And you feel that gentle pulling, so you're opening through that chest. Simultaneously, keep your lower body relaxed. So keep breathing here. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale, and on your exhale, swing the elbows out again, landing onto your front body and relaxing again, finding your way back onto the floor. Letting yourself be heavy, maybe wiggle the hips a little bit from left to right if you want to release that lower back a little bit more. Now we're going to be moving into that again. If that was a lot, just either stay laying down, move back into swings, or come into seal, which I'm going to demonstrate in just a moment. So we're going to place our elbows below the shoulders again. The forearms are parallel. We're going to move and point our fingers out towards the edges of the mat. And then push into the palms for seal pose, or alternatively you just stay here in swings if that was already a lot for your lower back. So pointing the fingers towards the edges of the mat, so they move out towards the edges and they point into that direction, pushing into the palms, making sure that the lower body is nice and relaxed. You can look forward. Don't necessarily look up unless the neck really allows for it and it doesn't restrict your breathing. So I ideally like to look forward more and then continuously keep relaxing the lower body because it tends to tense up. 3 deep breaths here. And then on your exhale, coming back onto the forearms and then coming back onto our hands, resting here for one more deep inhale and exhale. And then rolling onto our backs, making our way here with the knees, the feet on the mat and the knees bend. We're gonna inhale and then exhale, drop the knees towards the left, look over towards the right. Inhale to the center, drop the knees towards the right, look over towards the left. And then on your own tempo, windshield wipe the tension away from the lower back, from the hips, from the legs. Just a few rounds of windshield wiping. And then when you're ready, straighten out the legs, sliding those heels over your mat, and then letting everything go and let everything be heavy. Deep inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. 2 more times. Deep inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Then releasing any effort on frowning your face, on clenching your jaw, and just let everything be heavy. No more effort. If you want to stay resting in Shavasana, please feel free to do so. You can stay here for as long as feels comfortable for you. Alternatively, start to wiggle fingers and toes and take your hands above head for a big stretch. And when you're ready, hugging the knees towards the chest, rolling onto your right hand side, and finding your way to a comfortably seated position with the eyes closed for just another moment. Bringing your hands to the heart center and bowing your head towards the heart. I'm going to invite you to find some compliment or positive affirmation that you can say to yourself. Maybe something that you're proud of. Maybe something from today, last week, or something other positive thing that you want to tell yourself. And then move your chin up, open your eyes. Thank you so much for sharing your practice here with me today. I really hope you enjoyed the class and hopefully to see you again soon. Wishing you a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.